Go time.
Channel 4 News with 5-time Emmy Award-winning anchor, Ron Burgundy.
It's Channel 4 News at 6 o'clock.
Good evening, and I'm Ron Burgundy.
And I'm Veronica Corningstone.
Tonight, we have some breaking news of an ongoing tragic event. A 60-year-old man has been involved in a massive house fire on Houston Street. So bring your marshmallows, because we got a wicked bonfire.
All right, Ron, I'm going to stop you there. We're actually here to talk to you about burn shock and what it really is. I'm being told we're going live with Medic Nevin, who is with Island EMS, and he's on ambulance 71. Medic Nevin, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, that's great. Can you tell us what's going on?
And can you tell us how concerned we should be about burns?
Well, Ron and Veronica, the human body has 3 layers of skin. Each has a different feature, task, and function. As the layers get damaged, the severity of the burn increases. As damage increases, burns get classified as superficial, partial, full, and 4th degree. In this case, the person has suffered from burn shock.
That's one handsome medic over there.
All right, Ron. Medic Nevin, can you please tell us and the people of Charlottetown what burn shock really is?
Well, of course, Veronica, there's lots of different types of shock. There's cardiogenic, which affects the heart. There's neurogenic, which affects the brain and spinal cord. There's hypovolemic, which affects our fluid. And distributive, which affects our body's vasculature by vasodilation. Hypovolemic and distributive is what makes up what we know about burn shock.
What about emotional shock? This is how I treat my emotional shock.
All right, Ron, keep your shirt on there. We're going to go back to Medic Nevin. Sorry for cutting you off, Medic Nevin.
Scotchy, down
All right.
into my belly.
Well, emotional shock is not a real type of shock, but you do you, Ron. Burn shock occurs in major burn injuries, categorized by a decrease in cardiac output and preload and a decrease in plasma volume, which decreases blood flow to the body's major organs. During the first 8 hours after a thermal injury, a substantial increase to capillary permeability occurs, resulting in a state of intravascular volume depletion. This relative intravascular volume depletion is combined with a decrease in cardiac output with an increased systemic vascular resistance. This is what we have here.
Thank you. That is great information for everybody. Can you tell us what you did when you arrived on scene and how did you save this patient?
Well, when we arrived on scene, we noticed he had an altered state of consciousness, so we knew his airway was compromised. At that point, we recognized that we had a possible burn shock patient, and that we had to intubate immediately. Intubation is a tube that goes down the patient's trachea and that protects and stabilizes the airway, so that our team could oxygenate this patient, which was one of our primary concerns. We also noted that he had poor perfusion to all of his extremities. My partners did vitals while I completed a head-to-toe to assess the severity of the patient's burns. So, what I found was this patient had full-thickness burns on his face, neck, and chest, and partial burns on his abdomen. Vitals showed an SpO2 of 95% while he was being bagged, heart rate of 45, blood pressure was 83 on 40, and a BGL of 5.5. So now to treat his burns and fluid loss from the burns, we had to treat his fluid loss. We used the formula called the Parkland burn formula, which is 4 mils per kg times the total body burned. By this formula, we need to administer a total fluid volume of 6,930 mils, where half of it needs to be administered in the first 8 hours. Next, we need to treat his wounds by covering them with a dry dressing to prevent infection and hypothermia. We don't want to use any wet dressings, as wet dressings will retain heat and further damage his tissue underneath. Lastly, we considered pain management our last step to treatment. We administered 50 mics of fentanyl en route to hospital. We also used fentanyl to facilitate intubation. Gotta go.
Oh dear, wow.
Wow, that escalated quickly.
It
I
did.
really didn't see that coming.
Well, that was Medic Nevin with Island EMS with everything that we need to know about burn shock.
Yeah. He had a voice that could make a Wolverine purr.
Okay, well, we're actually going to take a short break right now, and we're going to go to our brand new sports reporter, Don Cherry. We're very excited to have him, and you'll see him right after the break.
Well, stay classy, Charlottetown.
And thanks for stopping by.
But mainly, stay classy.
But also, thanks for stopping